everybody. It's time for a little air, land, and sea. It's time for a little flash travel. Let's talk about something that's really a total game changer. We're talking about traveling solo. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mitch, that sounds a little lonely. And sure, eating dinner alone might feel awkward if you spend the whole meal staring at your phone, fake texting people. Guilty. But we got a little secret for you. Traveling alone is actually absolute freedom. No compromises, no waiting on someone who needs just 10 minutes, which, by the way, it's actually 40 minutes. And the best of all, you actually get to be as selfish as you want. So whether you want a little adventure, maybe a little soul searching, or just an excuse to eat your weight in croissants without judgment, here are my 5 top tips for traveling solo. Let's jump on in it, shall we? Here's our first tip. If this is your first solo trip, let's not start with a backpack, a jungle, and a vague hope for survival. Ease into it, okay? Go somewhere that's actually known for being solo friendly. Keep these things in mind and look for cities with great public transportation. You don't want to rent a car in a country where they actually drive on the opposite side of the road, right? Destinations where your native language is widely speaking is also a great idea, or even a domestic trip. Now remember, you don't have to cross an ocean to actually have an adventure. Now something we could take with us on these days are our smartphones, but keep this in mind. Solo travel is kind of like dating. You start off with like coffee, not, hey, want to move in together? I get it, you want to show everybody your amazing trip in real time, but if you spend the whole time staring at a screen, you're going to be missing out on the actual experience. Keep that in mind. Also, check in with family because if you don't, they're going to assume you've been taken, but also put the phone down and talk to locals. Get lost on purpose. Order something on the menu that you don't understand. Worst case scenario, you discover you hate things like pickled herring. And a pro tip, turn on the share my location with a trusted friend. That way, if you go missing, they'll at least know where you were, at least at that highly rated gelato shop. Am I right? All right, next tip is traveling solo is all about freedom. But keep in mind, let's not be too spontaneous. Book your first night stay and have a general idea of what you want to see, but don't overschedule yourself. Leave space for, say, random, unexpected magic. Because that's where the best travel stories happen. Like maybe you stumble into a festival you didn't even know existed, or maybe you end up at a cafe where an old man tells you the best story of your life. Or maybe, just be honest, maybe you're just sleeping in without guilt because no one's actually dragging you out to do something at a 7 a.m. hike. Keep in mind. Look, I love options as much as the next person, but you don't need 12 outfits for a 5-day trip. Am I right? Pack carry-on only. Trust me, the last thing you want is to be wrestling a giant suitcase with up 5 flights of stairs, all into the charming but elevator-less European buildings. They're out there. This is what you can do. First off, make sure you have a comfortable pair of shoes, singular, not 5, a crossbody bag, because pickpockets do exist out there, a solid adapter, because foreign outlets, well, they're really tiny tricksters. And more importantly, a portable charger. Nothing will ruin your trip faster than being lost with 2% battery trying to remember how to say help in Italian. Okay, so if you have to like hanging out with yourself, this is the great way you do it. You just take yourself out to dinner. Enjoy a long walk. Sit in a cafe and just watch the world go by. You'll be amazed about how much more you see when you're not distracted by conversation or that phone. And if you feel lonely, well, just strike up a conversation. Locals are the way easier, and they love actually chatting with a solo travel than maybe a group of tourists. Some of the best travel stories come from random encounters, like the time I met that 80-year-old dude from Spain, and he once told me he danced with Audrey Hepburn. Was it true? No idea. It's a great story, nevertheless. Look, traveling solo doesn't have to be about being alone. It's about being free to explore, free to make your own decisions, and free to eat cake for breakfast with zero judgment. So book that flight and pack light and be open to new experiences. Share them with us as well. Head to our website, flashtraveltv.com.